Today I'm going to show you how to make these super fun layered sort of chair bow style bows. They're super pretty and they're made on templates, which makes layering a little bit easier. And this is 2-inch ribbon as a base, 1.5-inch ribbon and 1-inch ribbon, and that was on a 5-inch template, which is the bow we're going to recreate today because we're going to do a second one. And I've also done it in 3-inch ribbon, so the 3-inch was the base, 2-inch and 1.5. This is a look you get on a 6-inch template, and like I said, you can play around with your layers, you can do more, you can do less. Like I said, this is just the way I do it. Okay, so this one, for the 3-inch versions, you needed 3 times 70 centimeters. For the 2-inch ribbon, it is 3 times 60 centimeters, and the 1.5 would be 3 times sort of 50 to 55 centimeters, depending on how long you like your tails. But I'll put everything in the description box below. So I've got my template here. This is my 5-inch template, and I have got my 3 layers of 60 centimeters here. So I've got the bottom layer, which is 2-inch, and then we line up our edges like so, so they're all at the top. And you could also do this the other way and do them all at the bottom, and then take your 1-inch and again line up your edges so that they're all at the top. And then what I do is get them all even, and what you want to do is you want just a drop of glue, because we're going to cut this way anyway. This is just purely to hold our ribbon in place, so don't be overly concerned about this, because like I said, that mess underneath there is going to be cut when we shape our tails later anyway. Go. That is purely just to hold it while we do our making, and again make sure they're all lined up how you want them so that all your edges are nicely even. Like so. Make sure that that's okay, and again glue each layer just a bit to hold it in place while we do our making. You can use a pin if you want instead. Glue. I sometimes seal them together with my wood burner depending on what I've got on. And again, don't worry about that bit of glue there because it's not really a massive inconvenience. Okay, and then the other thing we do, excuse me, just knocking my ruler, is we want to fold this in half, and again make sure all your layers are right at the edge, like so. We're going to use this to centre it, so we're going to take the pin right up through that centre and pin those layers in place so that nothing's moving around as we're doing our make. Okay, so we're going to put this here like so. Move that pin up so it's easier to take out. And what you want to do is take your template, and as you can see on mine, I've put a line right where the centre is, and you want it so that you can put your stitches through. So I do it just below there, the stitch guide, so that it's easy to see what I'm doing. And then you want to take it from this corner, and what you want is where the line is here, you want this to hit around there, so just under the original piece of ribbon. What I do is I take a clip and I pop that there to hold it, because the other thing is we want the crosses. So here, this triangle here and this triangle at the bottom should all line up with that centre line. So we're going to take the clip this side, slide that underneath. Like I said, take your ruler, and as you can see, our triangles are right in the centre. So as you went down, they're all in alignment there. So if you're happy with that, lift your template, and the other thing I do is I put a clip here and I put a clip this side as well. And this is just to stop our ribbon slipping about on the template while we're making, because the whole point of template making is to keeping our loops and everything even. So if you don't have anything holding it in place, it can slip and then the loops will be out of even anyway, so it's completely pointless without that. So that's why we use the clips. And we're going to take our thread and we want to start from above, from that first triangle point there. And then I think we're going to do 8. And try and get your stitches as even as possible, and I'll show them you once I'm done. Okay, once you get to this point, you can push this back and take your pin out, because we don't need that as anymore, because it's all being held by a thread now. I want to do our last stitch, because like I said, we went in from above, we want to come back up from above, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that will be 4 creases. Like I said, you could do it with 6, but obviously I prefer the look with 8. And like I said, try and make them quite even, but it's not massively important. The better you do, the better it looks, but like I said, it's not a massive concern. So on this one, we can now take this off, and as you can see, in 1, 2, 3, out, and on the back you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and like as you can see, everything's still nicely lined up and all your edges of your ribbon is nicely even. There we go. And then push it down with your thread. As you can see, 1, 2, 1, 2. So we've got 4 creases in total, and then you can wrap your centre round. Like I say, if you want to do shorter, you can do sort of anywhere between 50 to 60, even sort of up to 45 centimetres. So play around and decide how long you like your tails and things like that. This is just the length I personally prefer. Okay, cut that extra off. Just move those out of the way so they're not all on my desk. And this is the look you get. So you get the pop colour behind, and then you've got your colours here. Now what I do is, obviously I made all my own edging tools. So I actually have this one, which is a nice curve edge, and what I do with this is check that my tails are even, which they are, look. That's the other reason about doing the centred and everything. What we can do, we can take this. You don't need a wood burner for this either, you can still use them this method. This is why I like these ones made with the aluminium cans, because they're still quite flexible. So obviously our glue's all under there, so do it roughly. So that's about 1 centimetre up from the bottom. What you want to do is take your scissors, use that as a guide. You can curve that round that side, flip it over, work out roughly 1 centimetre up, so that's 1 centimetre up that side. There we go, so that's the same. And you can check by turning that over there as well. There we go. Don't want it quite that deep. That's better. Use it that side. And there you go. Got pretty even, accurate tails. And then you can use your lighter in the blue bit of the flame. Heat seal. Heat seal. Heat seal, and the same on the other side. I'm just going to trim that slightly because that one's got a little bit of a dip. There we go, that's better. And next layer. There we go. And last layer. Like I said, you can do any kind of tails that you like. You can spike, you can curve, you can do whatever you personally prefer. Like I said, I just like using that sometimes, it's fun. Okay, so we're going to turn it over and I'm going to add a bubble to this one. Okay, so I use where the seam is, so that's where the join is on the seamless bubble, because like I said, you can usually see some element of them. Touch of glue back here. Not overly much because we don't want it to gather either side of the bubble and the 9mm. So there, take your 9mm, heat seal as normal, tiny bit of glue on the back, and then place that over the seam and the centre like so. Okay, hold that down for a couple of seconds and then we're going to wrap this round at least twice. Okay, heat seal that side and then we're going to glue. Like so. And you can leave them at this point, like I said, really pretty, or you can add a scrunchy middle, making an S shape this side in the left direction. I think it was left, it may have been right. And then you make it in the opposite direction, the other side, so the S in the opposite direction. And that's why we seal in the clear blue bit of the flame, not the orange. The orange is the bit that burns. Okay, so you have a dip this side and a dip that side, and you want to glue on the plain side, not the bit with the picture. So I'm going to put a touch of glue just there, like so. I'm going to take that to the back of our bow. Hold that down a second. Just going to get rid of those glue stringers that are hanging out back there. And then we twist this round. That's going to be a bit much, so I'm just going to cut that down a little bit. I normally start about 3 inches and then you can cut them down if your bow's less bulky. Obviously, if it's still a little bit bulky, the longer length helps because it'll still wrap round. Like it's always best to cut a little bit longer and go down than cut a little bit short and not have enough. And again, on the plain side of the ribbon, touch of glue just there, and like that, like so. Take the glue stringies all off my fingers, and there you go. There is your nice layered multi-layer chair bow kind of style, well, one of the many kinds of chair bow-esque bows that you can make using templates. Okay, so thanks for watching. If you need any more help with any of the bows or anything like that, in the description is the link for the Facebook page and group I'm always about. You can ask me any questions that you might want to answer, and also, like I said, put all the descriptions, like I said, the where that I get the ribbon from, like the print and the measurements and which template size to use with which ribbon, etc., all of that kind of thing. So thanks for watching and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.